Hi, this is Maggie. Today I want to do the chart of Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday, of course, is a great jazz blues master. Uh, she endured a lot of segregation in her career. Everybody got to get off the bus, all the guys, and she had to wait on the bus when she was touring. So later she ended up, I think, going to Europe and, where she could be treated with civility. So, back in the day, she was born in 1915. Billie Holiday is an Aries, born April 7th, 1915. So you can imagine what it was like then. In Philadelphia, PA, Pennsylvania, at 2:30 a.m. So she is a sun in Aries, 16 degrees Aries, moon in Capricorn. That was her fame. In the 12th house, Pisces house. And her ascendant is Aquarius. So she's very unusual and gifted. She has Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, in her first house. So she certainly used that. But, the story of her life, she endured a lot of hardship in her life. So I'll get to her aspects later. So I'm going to start with her moon in the 12th house. It's in Pisces house. So she had a musical career. Lady sings the blues. And she did struggle with drug addiction. And there's a major glaring opposition between her moon in the 12th house, Pisces house. It's in Capricorn. So here she is, famous through her music. And it's opposing Neptune in the 6th house of Cancer. So her drug addiction took her out, that's, but at the same time it gave her great emotional vulnerability to be able to sing the blues and jazz the way she did. She's unique, one in a million, and that's her imprint, her Uranus first house in Aquarius, different, unique, original, so also her North Node is in her first house of Aquarius, so she was made to imprint her personality in groups, in the media, so she definitely made an imprint with her personality and through her originality. Uranus is liberating. So here she is living in the segregated society and making it. But she was, I don't want to tell her whole story, but yeah, she was born to a 13-year-old mother and a 16-year-old father, and I think he was a musician. So she was born to music, but really had to struggle to make it. She really had to struggle to make it. So I'm just going to kind of go around her wheel. It's kind of like a ladle. Everything is pretty much in. I thought of Kurt Cobain kind of when I looked at all her water, and it takes a lot of water to sing the blues like she does. I thought of Kurt Cobain because he was literally drowning in water and drug addiction as well. So she has Venus in Pisces. It's exalted in Pisces. She has an enormous first house. It's comprised of Aquarius and Pisces. So Pisces is her talent, her musical talent. So Venus and Jupiter just enlarged and gave her good luck, good fortune in her musical career. People just saw her and signed her immediately. And so she went on to tour. And so touring would be, and going to Europe and different countries would be Jupiter, and enlarging her musical, extremely original talent. So Uranus would be liberation, and being an Aries, she's an Aries. An Aries woman does not like to be told what to do, and certainly not to wait in the bus while all the boys got to go in the band, got to go into a restaurant. I mean, she did not take that very well indeed. And so her son in the second house of Taurus was squaring her moon in 12th house Pisces. So she had to endure a lot. It's just a glaring square. But she has this major conjunction between Venus, Jupiter, Chiron, the wounded healer. Sorry about the lighting in here. Somebody took my lighting. So I have to get some more. Chiron, the wounded healer, and Mars are just in a very tight conjunction. In Pisces. So of course she was drawn to music, and Jupiter gave her fame. But Mars kind of, put her in danger. She was in harm's way many times. She really had to struggle to just stay alive, and was practically an orphan and was abused and just endured so much. And I'm looking at these glaring squares to Saturn and Pluto in her fifth house of children, self-expression. So her child, her inner child, her childhood was horrific, actually. She was raped. That would be Pluto square, is Pluto squaring Mars, and it's squaring Chiron, and it's and Saturn as well. Pluto conjunct Saturn are squaring both Chiron and Mars. So it was really difficult for her growing up. Her childhood was traumatic. So Pluto being there would be a trauma signature, definitely, and squaring her, her Mars. Yeah, her Mars. That would be violence. But her Aries gave her stamina and staying power. Aries is a fighter. So she definitely had inner conflicts with the sun squaring the moon. Aries squares Capricorn. With the sun squaring the moon, that's a lot of internal conflict, which she was born with. She was born with it. And you can imagine being born to a 13-year-old mother. And so part of it, she had a very strong sense of abandonment. There was a lot of nurturing with the moon in cold Capricorn in the 12th house. The nurturing mother wasn't there, and so she had to fend for herself in Aries. She had to fend for herself in a lot of difficult ways at such a young age. Because of that square, and so that gave her a real sense of emotional abandonment, which led her into drug addiction, and the lifestyle as well, the whole jazz lifestyle. Her chart is something else. So her fifth house childhood was tragic. Her sixth house of work, she has Neptune in Cancer, so she probably loved good food, being in Cancer. But again, in her work life, she has Neptune opposing the moon in the 12th house. Neptune is the ruler of the 12th house, along with Jupiter. So her Jupiter stands out in her first house, musically, Victoria. She made her mark through her north node. But Neptune in the sixth house of work in Cancer, opposing her moon in Capricorn. All the jazz people did drugs in those days, and probably today too, I'm sure. But Lady Sings the Blues. It came right from her heart, and so. But it also, the opposition is very powerful pull to escape the emotional abandonment that she had, and that she sang about, and that came out through her music. So And so she has Venus in Pisces and Jupiter. Venus in Pisces is trining Pluto, fifth house. Fifth house is also self-expression. So she was a blues singer, blues and jazz. I mean, they go to depths, and some of her songs, you know, they just tear at the core of you, you know. Some of them are about segregation, just deep, you know, deep, powerful scorpionic stuff that she lived through and was able to sing about. I believe one of her songs might have been about a lynching, you know, that bad fruit or something. So that's her powerful Pluto expressing herself in the fifth house, and Saturn as well. They're in a conjunction in the fifth house of communication. So hence Lady sings the blues, you know, the jazz, just powerful lyrics that just floored everybody. And there's a major square going on, which I already talked about, between Pluto and Saturn in the fifth house to her Pisces, to her Chiron and Mars in Pisces. So yeah, so that I already talked about that. So yeah, pretty much everything's right there. I wanted to break down her elements, and maybe I'll go into some of her transits a little bit. I mean, some of her aspects, rather. She's no longer with us. Unfortunately, she passed away pretty young. So the only fire she has is her independent Aries. So she was a fighter. Aries are born. They have to fight. They have to struggle. They learn the hard way. They're fiercely independent. And so she was born with that just struggle, you know, with her inner conflicts, her neglect, and that's a tough one. That's a tough one she was born with. That's her only fire. And so she asserted her independence, you know. I really respect her for that. I really do respect her for asserting her independence in a man's world, you know. She did it. Her air, she's all air. She's very Aquarian. Aquarians are unique, different, original, independent, ahead of their time. She has the ruler Uranus, her north node, her ascendant is Aquarius, and her Saturn is in Gemini. So that makes her like a linguist with words, with music, her self-expression. So she used her Saturn in Gemini to make a mark through her music. Her only Earth, she only has one in fire, her sun, and her only Earth is her moon, and they're squaring each other. So that's her inner conflict. And then her water. Her water is, no wonder she struggled with drug addiction. I mean, you know, with the struggles that she had, and these aspects, and she had Neptune and Pluto in water, in Cancer. Well, Neptune's in Cancer, and Pluto's in Cancer too, but it's in the fifth house. So that's very watery, very watery sign. Mutable, adaptable. She had to adapt. She had to roll with the punches, you know. So she had in water. She had Neptune and Pluto. The midheaven is in Scorpio, in the ninth house. So that's her blues career, her international acclaim in her singing career. And, you know, with blues and jazz, nothing is off limits. So she made a mark for herself internationally through her MC And um, also she has Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Chiron all in Pisces. You know, it's like, that's a lot. That is a lot. Um, Mercury, although it looks like it's in Aries, it's 24 degrees. It's, let me just make sure how Mercury, yeah, no, it's 24 degrees Pisces. So, you know, she had this enormous need to escape. She just did. I mean, some people are just born that way. And, yeah, really, she couldn't help it. She could not help it. Um, and she has some quincunxes, two of them. One is Neptune to quincunx Jupiter. So Neptune, quincunx Jupiter in Pisces. That's that's her work, her singing, you know, being on the road. And it just expanded her musical career. But she, you know, the drug addiction was on the road with her. She was pretty much surrounded by it, and she was involved in it, and the music, and they were all kind of tied together. You know, what the content, what she sang about. But there are parts of herself that she just could not see. Neptune blinded her to see who she really was. It's in conjunct or quincunx Jupiter. Jupiter in Pisces, so she couldn't see a way out, you know, of her situation. You know, she loved what she was doing. She loved singing. But she couldn't see her way out of the drug addiction. She just couldn't. The other one was to Uranus quincunx Pluto. And that was her, that looks like that was her rape in childhood, you know, in foster care or something. Just some Plutonian stuff went down with her as a child, and she probably wasn't able to handle it, and probably had to fragment herself. And there's another one to Venus and the moon, the moon in the 12th house. So a lot of secrets. You know, Venus that you know she had to hold within, but it came out in her music and her lyrics. So anyway, I just hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share. If you would like your chart done, this time I'm having an eclipse special, and I'll do any chart for $60. So anyway, take care.